Things are really shifting very fast these days because Google is not just showing websites anymore. With AI mode now live, users are getting direct AI generated answers pulled from top sources across the web, sometimes before they even see the actual links. And if your content shows up in those answers, they're not just another option. They're the first voice that they hear. I mean, you become the trusted expert, the business that people would choose without hesitation, and businesses that understand how to position themselves in these AI powered results. They're not just getting more views, they are dominating, they are multiplying revenue, they are scaling faster and turning search intent into sales, sometimes in minutes. Now, this part of the course is going to help you get that. And to help you achieve this, I've decided to, break this particular part of the course into two sections, all right, to help you create the kind of visibility that does not fade, whether you're a small business owner, freelancer, service provider, or running a local brand. I mean, this framework is going to help you stay up, show up, stay relevant, and convert traffic into profit, even in this new AI first search environment. So let's get into it. Now, module 7, we're talking about mastering SEO in the age of AI, Google mode. All right. Now, by this point, of course, your head is probably full of strategies, tools, and tips that you have either started applying or are itching to try. You've learned how to optimize pages, research keywords, and build the kind of content that Google and your ideal customers actually want to see. And you're probably already thinking differently about your websites, your marketing, and even your role in how your business grows. But what I need you to do here is to stay with me because we're going to talk about something really different. Now, like I said in the introduction of this module, all right, this is not just a minor adjustment. Google AI mode is a foundational shift in how search works. And if we're being honest, it has caught a lot of people off guard. It's changing how people search, how results show up, and how businesses get found or left behind. Now, if you've come across the new AI summaries in Google search, and you've thought, oh, what exactly is this? Well, it's a big shift and it's left a lot of people with questions. This feature, called the AI mode, does not work like traditional search. Instead of showing a list of results and letting users decide where to click, Google now offers a summary answer right at the top of the page. You see, that summary is generated by its own AI and pulled from the multiple sources across the web. Now, the key change here is this. Many users are now getting the information they need without ever even clicking through a website. I mean, that means your blog post, your service pages, or article might still be ranking, but fewer people will actually land on it. I mean, this shift is important. It means that how Google processes and presents information is evolving, and so should your strategy. But this is not about fear. It's about understanding what's happening and knowing exactly how to respond. And that's what this module is going to help you do. It's going to help you get clear on what is changing, see where your opportunities are, what this will mean for your traffic, what you can't control, what to double down on, and start making smart adjustments that actually will keep your content in the game. So let's get into it. Welcome to lesson 1 of this module. Now, I want us to take a step back and just talk about what's really going on, right? Because I know by now you've been doing the work. You've probably optimized pages already based on the previous modules. You've learned to speak Google's language, and you probably even built content that actually ranks. But now the rules are shifting, not slightly, drastically. And I'm here to basically help you understand what is happening, why it matters, and how you can still win. So let's start from the top, right? Google just rolled out something called the AI mode, also known as AI overviews. You've probably seen it, even if you don't realize what it is. Okay. It's that big AI generated block of text that appears right at the top of the search results. Now, this is not, the traditional search results where you see 10 blue links and decide what to click. Nope. This is Google acting like an answer machine. It gives users a straight up summary right there on the page, pulling information from several websites, and sometimes without even showing these websites at all. That means users are getting their answers without ever needing to click through anything. And for us as, of course, search engine optimizers, content creators, and business owners, that's a huge shift because, our entire strategy used to be about ranking high enough so people will click right. Now we're playing a new game where visibility does not equal traffic. Now let me break it down exactly what what this means and why it's such a big deal. This is not the first time Google has changed how search works. I mean, I've been in this space for over 7 years and I've seen updates come and go. We've had medical updates in 2018, and that one shook health and finance sites to the core. Why? Because Google decided it was no longer enough to have content. They had to be trustworthy. That meant having a real author, credentials, citations, the whole thing, right? Then came BERT, BERT, in 2019. And I'll never forget how quiet yet impactful that one was. I mean, BERT basically helped Google understand context. It could finally make sense of the full sentence, not just keywords in isolation. So all of a sudden, robotic keyword stopped working. Then natural language and human sounding answers started to shine. Google does not roll out big changes at once. They test, they watch, they refine quietly at first, then boldly once the data backs their direction. And that's what they've been doing with the AI mode. You may not have noticed it at first, but Google has been slowly infusing AI features into search for years. It started with featured snippets, then BERTs, right? Then MUM, all right? Then passage indexing, all right? Each step giving Google more control over how answers are surfaced and summarized. Then there was a testing phase, these AI overviews, which was introduced in Search Labs in 2023 as an opt-in feature. Just a small group of users got to test them. Feedback was gathered, data was studied, then Google made its move. Now, as of May 2025, AI mode is now live by default for all US users, no opt-in required. This is not a beta anymore, this is core search. Now, here is the pattern I want you to see. This is not the first time Google has narrowed the field. If you think back to the local park, in its early days, Google used to display 7 businesses on the map for local intent searches. And then they cut it to 3 parks, which means only 3 businesses get shown up front, with everyone else buried behind a view more button most users will never click. Exact logic is now being applied to organic search. In the past, a search would show 10 blue links, front and center. Now, depending on the query, you might see AI generated summary. Basically synthesizing information from multiple sources to deliver a comprehensive overview. You will see cited sources within the AI summary. You will find hyperlinks to original sources. These links will allow you then delve deeper into the topic and verify the information provided. You will see conversational interface. AI mode offers a chat-like interface, enabling you to ask follow-up questions. This interactive feature allows for a more in-depth exploration of the subject matter. Then you see personalized results. The AI tailors responses based on your search history and preferences, offering more relevant and customized information. And then you see interactive elements like features like charts, graphs, or images may be included to enhance understanding and engagement. These features are designed to provide a more intuitive and efficient search experience, allowing users to obtain, detailed information very quickly without navigating through multiple websites. This is important because Google is shrinking the surface area of visibility just like they did with the local park. They're compressing what users see immediately and putting more of their own generated content at the top, not to penalize site owners, but to keep users inside the Google ecosystem longer without needing to click away. Okay, now if your site does not make it into the AI overviews or those few top spots, it might as well not exist for that query. That's how high the bar has become. And that's exactly why we're talking about this now, so that you can adapt your strategy before everyone else scrambles to it. Now, at the Google AI AO 2025 conference, Liz Reid, Google's vice president of search, referred to AI mode as the future of search. Now, during her keynote address, this perspective was further emphasized by Nick Fox, Google's head of knowledge and information products, who discussed the transformative potential of AI in redefining the search experience. He highlighted that AI capabilities enables Google search to move beyond traditional information retrieval towards providing more intelligent synthesized responses. Now, these statements emphasize Google's commitment to evolving its search engine through AI advancements, aiming to deliver more comprehensive and conversational user experience. And now, Here we are in the age of AI mode, and it's bigger than any of the updates I have mentioned combined. As at right now, the 4th of June 2025, this feature is currently only available to users in the United States. That means if you're outside the US, you may not have access to it yet, but that doesn't mean it's not coming your way. In fact, that's why this is such an important moment. What's being tested and rolled out in the US today could easily become the global standard tomorrow. Google has a long history of releasing updates regionally before scaling them worldwide, and all signs point to this being no different. And already, many reactions around the world are mixed. Some people are excited, they see the potential. AI overviews are fast, they're clean and efficient. Users love being able to get a full answer without jumping from site to site. But others, especially business owners, bloggers, SEO consultants like me and you, marketers, were concerned, rightfully so, because if Google's AI gives users the answers upfront, fewer people will click through to the actual source. That means less traffic, fewer eyes on your content, and potentially a major shift in how people find you online. The truth is, whether you're in the US or watching from another country, this is not something that you can afford to ignore. This is a preview of what search will likely be everywhere in the near future. And the sooner you understand how it works and how to work with it, the better positioned you'll be to stay visible, relevant, and ahead of the curve. So why? Why now? Why is Google doing this? Well, because AI has changed the way we search. Over the last 2 years, more and more users started leaving Google for answers. All right. Now, how many times in the past few months have you really typed a question straight into ChatGPT or Copilot instead of Google? You wanted a fast answer, a summarized guide, or just did not want to click through 10 different blogs to find what you are looking for. And I've done it too. A lot of us have, right? Apps like the Perplexity, Claude, and even the new ChatGPT 4.0, all right, have made it super easy to get what we need without shifting through web pages. And that's pressure on Google, because if people stop searching on Google, Google loses its users and its advertisers. That's the business model. So what did Google do? They decided to become the answer engine themselves. Instead of showing you a list of websites, they now use their AI called Gemini to scan the web and deliver a clean, helpful summary right inside search results, just like ChatGPT. Now, Satya Nadella, who is the CEO of Microsoft, once said that AI is a new interface layer. That comment wasn't just a hype, it was a warning. If you control the AI interface, you control the conversation, you control the user. And Google took that very seriously, because Microsoft backed ChatGPT. And if ChatGPT became the go-to answer engine, Google risked losing everything. Google is no longer positioning itself as just a search engine. It wants to be your personal AI assistant. It wants to anticipate what you're looking for, summarize it for you, and remove the need for you to click anywhere else. So let that sink in. And let me paint a picture. Now imagine you search for how to fix a leaky faucet. Now, instead of a list of plumber blogs or YouTube videos, you get a paragraph at the top that explains the fix in 3 bullet points. No clicks needed. Maybe it links to 1 or 2 sources if you're lucky, but most times that's it. The user is satisfied. They close the tab. They never see your site, even if your site had the best answer. And this is what I mean when I say that the game is changing. So here's the deal. This model is not just about understanding a new feature, it's about adjusting your mindset and your strategy so that you do not get left behind. Because let's face it, if you're depending on an old school ranking technique to bring in your traffic and leads, you're going to feel this change very, very hard. And of course, this is not speculation anymore. This is happening. I've watched Google test this in small pockets for months. I've seen the shift in how pages rank, how traffic drops off in certain niches, and how even strong performing sites are being ignored by AI mode. And here's what I also know. If you understand how to work with the change, not against it, you can still win. In fact, you can do more than win. You can dominate, because most people won't adapt fast enough, but you will. Now let's get into lesson 2. Here we're going to be talking about why this update hits harder than most. All right, so we're going to zoom in on the impact. In this lesson, we're going to look at what's already happening to websites inside the AI mode rollout. We're talking about real shift, drops in clicks, sudden changes in visibility, and now and new rules in how your content is selected or ignored altogether. So we're going to be breaking it down. Who's been affected the most, why local businesses are in a strange in between space right now, and what this all means for those who have relied heavily on organic search. So let's get into it, okay? So many of us have built our websites and content strategies on a very simple model. Show up on the first page of Google, get clicks, turn those clicks into leads or sales. Now that model has worked for years, but AI mode is changing that narrative. So let's break it down, all right? Now, number one, clicks are dropping very fast. For years, the goal has been to get into the top three results because that's where the majority of the clicks happened. Okay, but AI mode does not follow the old pattern. I mean, it's changing the rules altogether. When someone searches now, especially for an informational query, they are met with a block of text, an AI-generated overview right at the top. It pulls in summaries from multiple sources and provides a neat, complete answer. No scrolling, no decision making, no click. All right. Search Engine Land and Search Engine Journal have both confirmed this early trend, meaning that websites that previously held the top 1 to 3 organic spots are seeing sharp drops in click-through rates. All right, that means less traffic, even if your rankings have not changed. In other words, your SEO might be solid, but fewer people are clicking through to your site because they feel like they already got what they came for. Number two, informational blogs are taking the biggest hits. If your site is heavily focused on education or general info like how-to guides, product comparisons, industry overviews, you're probably feeling this one really hard, all right? Because Google's AI mode is designed to extract and condense that type of content. So instead of clicking to read your entire post on 10 ways to keep your house cool in summer, users are now reading a summary that says use blackout curtains, cook outside, switch to LED bulbs. All within the AI box. Your detailed guide might still be ranking, but the traffic is not coming in like it used to. Now, number three, local park is still holding on. All right. Now, let's talk about local businesses. If you're a dentist, a plumber, a restaurant owner, you're likely in the fight for a spot in Google's local park. And that visibility still exists, but it's more competitive than ever because guess what? AI mode now pulls directly from the local park to give its summary. So here's what that looks like. All right. So let's say you search for best dentist near me. You get an AI overview that says Dr. Smith on Main Street has great reviews for cosmetic work, while Dr. Jones is highly rated for pediatric care. Now, that content is lifted directly from the top 3 listings, your Google business profile, your reviews, and maybe a bit of your website if you're lucky. But if you're not in that top 3, you're likely not in the summary. And if you're not in the summary, you're below the fold. That means you do not even show up on the first screen and users have to scroll to find you. And most won't. Now, if you're a local business owner, whether you run a dental clinic, a law firm, a bakery, a gym, or a plumbing company, this change is not just some abstract algorithm update. It's your front door shifting position. It's the digital equivalent of your signboard being moved from eye level to behind the wall. All right. Now, for years, the local park has been your best friend on Google. That's the small section near the top of the search results that show a map and 3 business listings. You might have noticed it when you search something like pizza near me or emergency plumber, California. If you were lucky enough to land in that park, you got calls, you got clicks, and you got foot traffic. But now, with AI mode, Google is repackaging that local park data and blending it into something called an AI overview. It's an instant summary that appears above everything else, even above the paid ads. Where does this information come from? Number one, your Google business profile. Okay. Number two, the reviews that are on your GMB. What people say about you in the star ratings and the snippets. Okay. 3, possibly your website, if it's clean, helpful, and clearly structured. And sometimes community sites or third-party directories. But here's the tough part. If you're not in the top 3, you're basically invisible. So what does this mean for your local business, local business or local business owners like you? Number one, you cannot afford to be casual about your business, Google business profile anymore. Your photos, reviews, Q&A, your service descriptions, they all matter right now. Number 2, outdated or empty profiles will get passed over. Yes. Also, local SEO is no longer about just being present, it's about standing out. Meaning, if you're not managing your reviews, building citations, and actively optimizing your profile, you're handing the spotlight to someone else. Also, website SEO still matters, but only if it feeds the AI with usable, scannable, quote-worthy information. AI won't read your whole homepage paragraph by paragraph. It's scanning, it's summarizing, and choosing lightning fast. Another thing I want you to notice is reputation and relevance are everything. If your reviews are thin, scattered, or average, you will likely get skipped in favor of someone with a more compelling presence, even if their website is not as polished. In short, the local pack has not disappeared, but it's no longer a list. It's now the source for Google's answers. And when the answer is all a person needs, you're either the answer or you're not even part of the conversation at all. So if you're running a local business, this is the time to get serious. You need to show up, be clear, and look trustworthy at first glance, because AI mode would not give users a second one. I will explain the exact strategy that you can use in this time as we progress. Now, one other thing I want you to notice is AI mode prioritizes answers, not options. This is a mindset shift. Google used to be about discovery. It gave you 10 blue links and said, here's a buffet of choices, go explore. Now it's more like a concierge. Google says, here's your answer. We already looked for it for you. All right. That means fewer links are being shown, fewer options are being explored, less user journey time, all right, meaning fewer conversions for you. If you rely purely on organic traffic, this is not a good update for you. This is not meant to scare you, definitely, but it means that you might need to seriously think. If your entire business model is built around getting found via traditional organic ranking, it's time to evolve. I mean, Google has stated clearly that this is the direction that they're moving in. Their goal is to keep users on Google, provide faster answers, and reduce the friction of visiting external websites. They're calling it the future of search. So what do? You stop relying on rankings alone. You have to start building presence across multiple touch points. You optimize for clarity and quotability. You go deep with expertise, not wide with fluff. You make your content the kind of content AI wants to summarize. Because at the end of the day, this is no longer just about SEO, it's about visibility in an AI first world. And that takes strategy, not panic. Now, let's quickly talk about how this update impacts your SEO. I know that we've spent the last 6 modules building a strong foundation together, covering what matters, what doesn't, how to grow with SEO that's sustainable, ethical, and actually brings in results. If you followed along and started applying what you've learned, then you're probably already on solid ground. I remember when Google rolled out the Medic update in 2018, and that update taught us that Google is not just ranking website, it's evaluating who is behind them and whether or not it deserves to be trusted. Now, another shift that has been quietly gaining momentum, and honestly, it's shaping everything that we do now, is Google doubling down on EEAT, and that stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. And while the concept itself has been around for a few years, it has become way more real with Google update. When Google updated its guidelines in late 2022 and throughout 2023 to put more weight on experience, stock answers and generic writing stopped working. What started to win the pages that clearly communicated, or where people who could communicate, I've done this, I've seen this, I know what I'm talking about, and here's why you can trust me. And that's what I'm seeing right now with AI mode, and even bigger than any of these updates. All right, because this is not just about ranking adjustments or a new factor in the algorithm. This is about a complete shift in how people find and interact with information. And here's where it gets even trickier. You can't easily track it. Google has not rolled out a clean way to measure AI mode traffic in Search Console or analytics yet. So when your clicks drop, it's not like you can log in and say, oh, 20% of my traffic is now going to AI overview instead. You're left guessing. You're trying to fill in the gaps, which makes it harder to respond with data. And I know how frustrating that is when you're trying to make smart decisions. But I don't want you to panic. I want you to understand what's really going on. Now, here is why I want you to care, and I mean really care. because this shift is about more than just SEO. It's about your voice in your industry. It's about your reach. It's about whether people see the value you bring or whether your expertise gets reduced to a footnote in someone else's summary. Now, this new mode is not just randomly pulling content from anywhere. It's highly selective. Google's AI is scanning the web and choosing sources it sees as clear, reliable, and structured in a way that's easy to extract value from. If your content is vague, bloated, confusing, or trying too hard to sound smart, it's probably not going to make the cut. But if your content is helpful, if it's clean, if it's built around serving real people, then you're already halfway there. Now, what's wild is that a lot of the principles we've already covered in this course still apply, but now they apply with sharper edges. Everything that you've learned in this course still works, but in this new AI-powered version of Google, the margin for sloppiness is gone. The tolerance for vague content is gone. And this is the season of precision. So let's quickly get into lesson 4. And lesson 4 says you cannot just rank anymore. You have to dominate a topic. So welcome to the lesson. If you've been thinking, oh, I just need to rank on Google and I'll be fine, it's time to retire that mindset. I mean, ranking is not the end game anymore. Is in this AI-powered search world, your new goal should be this: I want to own this problem space. So let me break that down, okay? Ranking is about being one of the many. Dominating a topic is about becoming the go-to, okay? It's the difference between showing up for a search versus being the answer Google pulls directly into its AI overview. Now, that shift right there is why this lesson matters, because the businesses that show up in those AI answers, they're not just ranking, they're owning the conversation. So let's talk about topical dominance versus keyword ranking. So keyword ranking is what we've done for years. Find a term like leaky pipes, write one blog post about it, throw in the keyword a couple of times, and hope Google puts us somewhere on page 1, right? But topical dominance is a whole new level. It means that you're covering this subject so thoroughly from so many angles that Google has no choice but to see you as your authority. I mean, you don't just mention the topic, you live in it. That's what AI mode is looking for. And here's a real world example, all right? Now imagine 2 local plumbers, right? Plumber A writes one blog post called 5 signs you have a leaky pipe, right? And plumber B, on the other hand, builds out an entire mini ecosystem around leaky pipes. I mean, it gives you a dedicated local service page optimized for leaky pipes repair in your city, all right? It gives you a detailed FAQ answering questions like how much does it cost to fix a leaky pipe, or can a leaky pipe cause mold? Then he gives you a short how-to video on identifying early pipe leaks. Then he gives you a Google Business Profile post highlighting a recent job. Then he gives you a carousel post on Instagram showing the before and after of a fix. And maybe even a downloadable checklist for pipe inspection homemakers can use. Guess who Google is going to favor in AI summaries? Plumber B. It's visibility through consistency. It's presence through repetition. The plumber who becomes the loudest, clearest, and most helpful voice around that problem is the one who is going to dominate that space. This brings us to the concept of being everywhere for one thing. I mean, your new strategy is not about touching 50 topics lightly. It's about going deep and wide on one topic that matters most to your audience and your business. Now, if you're a pediatric dentist, then you want your name to show up everywhere kids' dental questions are asked. If you're a career coach, dominate every question around resume writing, interview prep, and job market trend in your niche. And how do you do that? You create multiple entry points. That means your blog is not your only asset, it's part of the larger content cluster. Content clusters are simply groups of related content all built around one central topic. You create one core page, sometimes called a pillar page, that serves as the main resource. Then build out supporting pieces like videos, Q&A, case studies, infographics, short posts, and even GPP content, and all link back to it. All right. Now, another thing to consider is intent matching. Every piece of content should match a specific search intent. So it could be informational, like, oh, what causes a leaky pipe? It could be navigational, like, hey, find me a plumber near me. It could be transactional, like, hey, schedule a leaky pipe repair. You want to be present at every stage. So someone researching, someone deciding, and someone ready to buy, they all should find you. And when you do this, Google's AI sees your presence, your authority, your clarity, and pulls from you, not someone else. Now, why does this matter in the context of AI mode? Because AI mode is not picking results based on who used the keyword best. It's picking the clearest, most direct, most trustable answer. And the AI is looking across content types. All right, that means the summary might pull from your GBP reviews, a line in your FAQ, a stat in your blog, or a caption from your YouTube video. It rewards brands that show up in multiple formats, all pointing to the same authority. So here should be your new mindset. Don't just write a blog post, build a mini universe, own the topic. Give Google and AI zero doubt about who should be quoted. If you do that consistently, you don't just get traffic, you get recognition, you build trust, you drive conversions, and most importantly, you stay visible in a world where even number one search results might not get seen. Let's get into lesson 5, which will be Google's past behavior is the blueprint for what is next. So welcome to this lesson. Now, if you want to know where Google is going, you don't need to guess, you just need to look back. I mean, the way Google has moved in the past is the clearest predictor of what they're going to prioritize next. And if you can read the signs, you can prepare your strategy long before everyone else starts panicking. That starts with some history. So back in 2018, Google rolled out what became known as the Magic Update. This was a massive core algorithm change that hit health, finance, and other your money or your life sites the hardest. Why? Because Google wanted to prioritize trust. They wanted to make sure that if someone was searching for something critical to their health or well-being, the answer came from a trustworthy source. Okay, now this update introduced a stronger focus on authority, credibility, and factual reliability. And for many small creators who had gotten by with decent content but no clear credentials, it basically wipes them out. Okay, then came BRT. The BERT update was not about penalizing you, it was about understanding you better. Okay, it focused on natural language processing in plain terms. It helped Google grasp content. This meant that your content could not just be a pile of keywords strung together. It had to sound human. It had to be clear. It had to reflect the way people actually speak and answer questions. So again, those who wrote, for people instead of search engines rose to the top, and those who clung to keyword stuffing, they fell off. Now, next came EAT, which is the expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness, right? This was not just a guideline, it became a silent gatekeeper. Google began prioritizing content that had clear authorship, visible expertise, and real life experience. This is why author bios matter, why first-person experience PCs matter, why citing credible sources is not just good practice, it's a ranking factor. People want to hear from people who've done the thing, not just researched it. And Google leaned into that heavily. Now, AI mode does not just stray with the rules of MEDIC, BERT, or EAT, it stacks them. And it adds new expectations on top of that. So think about it like this. Now, from the MEDIC, AI mode still cares about trust and credibility. And now it doesn't just look at your domains of history, it examines the clarity and directness of your answers. All right. From BRT, it still looks at how well you match intent. But now it expects your content to be even more conversational, meaning broken down and immediately digestible. All right. From EAT, it still wants to know who's talking. All right. But now your content has to be structured in a way that makes your experience easy to code, summarize, and feature. And here's what AI mode brings on top of all of that: formatting, structure, and brand visibility. The way that your content is laid out, the visual, the clarity, the use of subheadings, the presence of media, all of that now directly affects whether or not you get pulled into the AI answer box. Why? Because AI does not skim like a human. It pulls from structure. It needs formatting to dictate relevance. It favors clarity and prominence. So if you're burying your best info halfway through a wall of text with no heading, you're invisible. Now let's talk about real estate, okay? Because this is one of the biggest, quietest shifts that no one is fully prepared for. So let's be honest here. Every major Google update has taken something away from the average creator, but it has also given more to those who adapted early. Now, if you were early to building backlinks the right way, you won. If you were early to mobile responsiveness, you won. If you were early to long form blog content, you won. If you were early to videos, you won. If you were early to experience based content, you won. And now, if you're early to formatting your content for AI mode and showing up as the clearest, most credible, and most structured authority on your topic, you win. So no, this update is not just another Google shakeup. It's a layering of every value Google ever prioritized, filtered basically through a new lens of clarity, experience, usefulness, structure, authority, right? This is not about gaming the algorithm anymore. This is about becoming the best answer. Let's talk about controversies and questions that you should know about. I mean, it's not been up to 2 weeks since this new Google AI mode rolled out across the US. And I must say that there's already been a lot of controversy around it. So let's talk about what people are actually saying. Okay, what's working, what's not, and what it could mean for your business if you're not paying close attention. Now, on the surface, Google is presenting this like an upgrade, smarter, faster, and more helpful search. But behind the scenes, especially in the search engine and publishing world, there's real tension. A lot of content creators, publishers, and small business owners are not happy. And honestly, I get it. I mean, some have even stopped posting. Some have spent years building organic visibility, playing by the rules, investing in good content, only to wake up and realize Google is now pulling summaries, queries and summaries pulled from their work without a click, and in some cases without credit. It has raised some big questions, ethical ones, actually, business ones. What happens when the platform that's supposed to connect people to your site becomes the one that competes with your site? When users stop clicking and just read the AI response at the top, for some, it feels like the value of publishing is being stripped away, like the content is being absorbed and repurposed by Google, but the creators are not getting rewarded for it. So let's not act like this is a bulletproof, right? Or this is bulletproof. AI mode hasn't been perfect. It's made some pretty ridiculous mistakes. Yes, one of the most viral ones was when it told people to eat rocks for minerals. That might sound funny at first, but when you think about the scale of trust people have in Google, it's actually pretty scary. Now imagine an inexperienced user getting the wrong health tip or legal answer because the AI misread a source. Now, this is not just about SEO anymore, it's about responsibility. And right now, that responsibility is being handed to an AI that's still being programmed. And that's why I keep saying that this is not just a feature, it's a fundamental shift in how information is found, delivered, and consumed. But we cannot afford to be blind to the implications. And this is a moment where we, as business owners, content creators, and strategists, need to pay attention not just to traffic drops, but to the bigger picture. And that's exactly why I'm not taking a wait and see approach with this one. Because I've been around long enough to know that waiting to react will always cost more than being ready to adapt. So you don't want to be 6 months behind when AI summaries are shaping most of the buying decisions in your industry. You don't want to wake up and find your best content buried because the AI never picked it up in the first place. And you definitely don't want to pour your time and budget into SEO strategies that were built for an old version of Google that no longer exists. Now, before this gets too heavy, I want you to also remember this. You're here, you're learning, you're not being blindsided by this. That already puts you ahead of most people. There are smart, strategic ways to make your content more visible, more trustworthy, and more likely to be selected for AI summaries. You now understand that ranking is not enough, visibility is not guaranteed, authority is not something you get once. It's something you have to keep improving across formats, across pages, across time. And that's where we're heading next. So in Module 8, we move from insight to implementation. You're going to learn how to build the kind of content Google's AI mode wants to surface. You will learn how to structure your answers, speak the language of clarity and authority, and show up as a go-to source in your space, even when fewer spots are available. So let's get to work. All right, so welcome to Module 8. Now, if you've made it this far, I want you to realize that everything that you've uncovered so far has been about exposing the shift. But in this module, we're going to be stepping into strategy. Okay? Now that you understand what Google is doing and what AI mode really is and how search has changed, the question becomes, what do I actually do about it? How do I get found in a world where clicks are disappearing, summaries are replacing articles, and even the top spot on Google does not guarantee visibility anymore? I mean, this module is where we answer that. I'm going to be walking you through how to build authority that Google cannot ignore, create content that actually shows up in AI overviews, structure your pages, messaging, and visibility. So you're the one being quoted, not skipped. Okay, so let's get into lesson one. Okay, we're going to be talking about a strategy for the new SEO reality. And let me be honest with you, SEO has changed. The old game of keyword stuffing, checking boxes and hoping for page one glory is fading, and in its place, of course, a new approach that's cleaner, smarter, clearer, and actually more human. This lesson is all about helping you step into that shift with confidence, because if you can understand how to think in this new environment, the tactics will follow. All right. So, how do you start? Number one, stop thinking like a content creator. Start thinking like a problem solver. And that's a major difference between creating content and solving problems. I mean, content creators focus on outputs, publishing for the sake of publishing, all right? Ticking boxes, adding more words to the internet. But problem solvers basically focus on outcomes. They ask, better questions. They go beyond what keyword should I rank for and dig into what exactly is this person struggling with and how can I make that easier. Now, here's what that would look like. All right. Understand what someone is really looking for. Let's say someone searches how to fix a broken door. Are they looking for a detailed manual? Probably not. They want fast help, like ideally something they can try at home without calling a pro. That means your content needs to start with a simple answer, maybe a simple checklist or a short demo. Okay. You can add depth below that, but your opening move should solve something real. So give them the clearest, fastest, most complete answer. Don't make them scroll, guess, or click around. Lay out your solution clearly, step by step if needed. Use headings, bullet points, and visuals to reduce friction. All right. Format them for humans and AI. If Google pulls a snippet from your page, that's your entry point into AI overviews. To build trust while doing it. Trust does not come from fancy language. It comes from showing up with clarity, honesty, and relevance. That's why adding your name, real examples, testimonial, and even short personal stories can make a big difference. Now, these are not just vanity details. They are ranking signals in an AI first world that cares deeply about authenticity. Because here's the thing. Google is not just calling your content for keywords, it's looking for signals of helpfulness. All right. That includes your formatting. Is it easy to skim? Your clarity. Is your message obvious? I mean, your authority. Do you have experience or credentials? And your intent. Are you solving or just selling? Now, if these signals are weak, the ranking will be too. All right. No matter how many words that you write. Number two, rethink your content goals. Right. So let it be clarity, cleverness, substance, surface. All right. There was a time when you could write a witty headline, add some flair, and people or sometimes search engine would still give you attention. Well, that time is over. In the AI mode era, all right, both Google and your audience wants content that is clear, not cryptic, straightforward, not fluffy, practical, not performative. So, how do you actually create that kind of content? Write like you're explaining it to a friend who needs real help, not to impress them, but to give them clarity. Keep your tone real. Avoid industry jargons, except unless you actually explain it. Use simple, honest language. Use the word, would I bookmark this test? All right. After writing a post, ask, would someone actually save this to come back to it later? If not, it's probably not useful enough. Add templates, checklists, frameworks, real examples, anything that makes it easier for someone to take action. Format for different reading styles. Some people skim, others scroll, others dig deep. All right. Use bold subheadings, short paragraphs, numbered lists, and internal links so that your page can serve multiple reader types at once. Now, say something meaningful in your first 3 lines. This is not just about hook, it's about respecting attention. The first few lines should offer insight, clarity, or a reason to keep reading. So skip the intro fluff, all right? Performative SEO, writing content just to hit what counts, throw in some keywords and look busy won't cut it anymore. That kind of content might still get indexed, but it will not surface in AI overviews. It won't get shared, it won't get remembered. Now, your focus should not be on having more content. It's about having more helpful content, more useful, more specific, more aligned with what your audience actually needs. And when your focus is on that, you don't get ranked, you get noticed, you get trusted, and you get chosen. Number three, write for schemas, scanners, in-depth readers, and AI all at once. This is where structure becomes your secret weapon. You're not writing for one reader anymore. You're writing for 4 types of readers at the same time, and each one interacts with your content differently. Number one, let's talk about the scanners. Now, these people scroll very fast. They want the big idea now. They read blog, bold text, headers, and lists. So, what do you want to do? You want to use clear section headings, bold takeaways, short paragraphs, icons or visuals to break the page. Number two, you write for scanners. They're looking for something specific. They're looking for a start, a quote, a tool, a price, a how-to step. All right. You serve them with FAQs, bullet points, numbered lists, right? Direct subheadings that make it easy to jump to what they want. Number three, in-depth readers. Now, these folks read top to bottom. Okay, they want full context and trust building detail. All right, you can give them storytelling. You can give them logic-based breakdown, quotes, stats, visuals, data, personal examples. Okay. Number four, you're writing for AI as well. It's not reading emotionally, it's parsing your content, your structure, meaning you optimize it by using clean formatting like H1, H2, H3 tags correctly, clear summaries in your opening and closing, schema markups for FAQs, how-to sections, short direct answers that it can put into AI overviews. Now, when you serve all 4 types, your content does not just rank, it earns attention, retention, and even repurposing in AI summaries. Number four, know your audience type. Now, this one is big. A lot of content strategies fail because the creator assumes their audience is everyone, or they write as if they're only speaking to someone who's just like them. But in this new SEO world, all right, you need to write strategically for different content consumers. Let's look at 4 primary types that you're going to be serving. Number one, action seekers. Those ones want answers very fast. And these are the just tell me what to do readers. All right, they don't want theory, they want answers. To win them over, you have to use bold callouts. All right, for example, do this first, shut off your water supply. All right, give them checklists and templates. Start with the action, then add context later. Number two, let's talk about the explorers. Those ones want context. Now, these readers want to understand the why behind the advice. All right, so you earn their trust by connecting the dots for them. They love real world examples, metaphors, stories that actually explain the technical stuff in a relatable way. Number three, comparers. They want proof. They already know a little. Now they want to know what's best. Now these readers look for side-by-side breakdowns. All right, they read reviews, comparisons, case studies. All right, because they need to trust you before they buy, click, or share. Okay, so you want to give them testimonials, data points, expert quotes, and real life examples. All right. Then number four, AI. AI wants structure, clear summaries. Of course, this is not a person, but it's a huge reader of your content. Think of AI as the algorithm that decides whether your content deserves to be featured in an overview or summary. So to win here, you need to use short sentences, short and very clear sentences, create FAQs or Q&As format, add clear subheadings and topic grouping. Now, AI mode does not reward creativity, it rewards clarity. So if you want your content pulled into the AI snapshot at the top of Google, give it something easy to lift. Let me be honest with you, this new landscape is tough. It's not as easy as write a blog post and hope it ranks. But here's the good news. If you start with the right mindset, the mindset of a teacher, a problem solver, a guide, you will stand out. People will notice, Google will notice, and more importantly, your impact will be deeper than any algorithm shift. So let's get into lesson 2, which is content creation that stands out in AI mode. Okay. Now, if there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's that the old model of publishing content just to keep the blog fresh is done. In this new AI mode reality, you don't need more content. You need sharper, more purposeful content. That's what gets picked. That's what gets visibility. And that's what positions you as the go-to source, not just another voice in the noise. So how do you do this? Number one, create less content, but with more precision. So here's the shift. Don't write just to write. Don't publish just to tick a box. Every piece of content you put out there should solve a problem, serve a specific audience, and position you as a credible authority. Precision means writing to rank for a clear, intentional query. All right. It means covering the topic better than anyone else. It means making it quotable, skimmable, and savable. If you only have time to write 3 blog posts this quarter, what 3 problems would they solve? Answer that, and you already have more direction than most content calendars out there. Now, number 2, no more generic blogs. Write with purpose. We've all written a top 10 tips post or a how to stay motivated article. But generic content does not stand a chance in AI mode because AI does not surface vague ideas. It surfaces specific, structured, intent matching ideas. That means your content must be rooted in real user intent. What are people actually searching? All right, let it be rich with data, examples, authority signals. Let it be positioned as a solution, not just an opinion. All right. Now, before you start writing, ask yourself, who is this for? What problem are they Googling? Right? Why should my answer be the one that AI pulls? Number 3, break down the new writing process. So here's how to approach content creation step by step. Step 1, identify the problem. Don't start with the keyword. Start with the question behind the keyword. Why does my back hurt when I wake up? Is more helpful than best mattress. Step 2, solve it clearly and uniquely. Give the answer upfront. Then support it with context, evidence, and experience. That's what makes your answer stick. Step 3, make it quotable. Think like an AI crawler. Can it lift your sentence as a direct answer? If not, tighten it. Use bullet points, short paragraphs, and concise phrasing. Number 4, make your content AI readable. You're not just writing for humans anymore. You're also writing for machines. AI mode is scanning your content for clear signals. And here's how to serve both audiences. Number 1, use short answers. Add a clear 1 to 2 sentence answer before you get into the post. Number 2, clear headers. Use H2 and H3 tags to separate ideas. Don't bury key points in walls of text. Number 3, define terms. Explain terms in simple language. Don't assume that your reader or the AI knows jargons. All right. Number 4, visuals and structured data. Include diagrams, charts, comparison tables, schema markup when possible. Number 5, build local content with layered specificity. Now, this one is big for service providers. It's not enough to write a post about plumbing service. You need content that speaks directly to your community. That means location-specific service pages, meaning drain cleaning in Austin, Texas. FAQs that address real local concerns, all right? Reviews and testimonials from people in your area, directions, maps, and embedded local citations, and layer that with trust signals. All right, how? By adding schema markup for local businesses, include updated hours, photos, pricing where relevant. Use GMB posts to push new updates. All right. Now, when you include all of these, you're not just writing for content. They're building an authority asset, and that is what AI mode picks up. This is how you rise above the noise, not by churning out more content, but by creating content that actually earns its place at the top. Now, in the next lesson, we're going to be looking at how to align your content strategy with authority building systems. So you're not just writing well, but building long term. All right, let's get to lesson 3. And here we're talking about how to optimize like Google's watching. Okay. Google is watching for signals, not just keywords or backlinks, but signals of real authority, trust, and usefulness. But if you don't optimize for these signals, you will fall behind. You'll get filtered out. This lesson is all about showing you how to prepare your content, website, and local presence for the AI-dominated landscape that we're in. All right, so let's go step by step and optimize with clarity. Number 1, audit your GMB profile. All right, for trust signals. If you run a local business, your Google business profile is ground zero. All right, that's what Google uses to feed AI summaries. So ask yourself, is your profile optimized to build trust? Now, here's what to check. Number 1, your photos. Add high quality, relevant, recent images. Show the storefront, team, interior, product, and services. Don't leave your profile blank. AI does not like that. Now, add a Q&A section. Seed this with actual questions your customers ask. Don't wait for posts for others to post. Use your most common FAQs as questions and provide solid, helpful answers. Number 3, reviews. Encourage satisfied customers to leave detailed, keyword-rich reviews. Respond to every single one, even the negative ones, with professionalism. Number three, services and business details. Make sure that your service hours and categories are filled in and match what is on your website. The next one is consistency. I mean, your name, address, and phone number must match across all platforms. Inconsistency is a red flag to the AI, algorithm. So number two is build out citations and local directories, right? Citations are online mentions of your business info, usually NAP, okay? And they matter more than most people realize. Why? Because AI relies on verified structured signals to determine trustworthiness. Now, here's what to do. You want to start with the top platforms: Google, Yelp, Bing Places, Apple Maps, Facebook, all right? Then move to niche directories relevant to your industry. For example, AVO for lawyers, all right? Health Grade for doctors. And use tools like Bright Local or Whitespark to find missing citations and clean up old ones. Keep all info consistent across every platform. This is not just a checklist, it's a signal that you exist, you are active and can be trusted. Number three, embed reviews and testimonials into pages. Don't let your best reviews sit only on Google or Yelp. Bring them to your site. How do you do that? Choose 2 to 3 reviews that mention specific services or outcomes. Number two, embed them near your CTAs or in your service pages. Okay, use review schema markup so Google understands that this content is a testimonial, not just plain text. And let me break that down. Review schema markup is a special bit of code, all right, written in a structured data format like JSON LD that tells Google, hey, this content right here is a review. It's not just random text on a page, it's a testimonial or a feedback from a real user. Now, Google can then feature it in rich snippets or AI mode, can recognize that this is a user-generated opinion, adding credibility to your brand. So instead of just writing, John said our AC repair was excellent, review schema lets you wrap that in a code that clearly tells Google who said it, what they reviewed, what rating they gave, if any, and when the review was made, and that, it's a review, not a sales copy. You can also include a photo of the client with permission, of course, or even a short video testimonial if possible. Number four, update internal linking and anchor text to good topical strength. AI mode pulls from the clearest, most well-structured sites, and a big part of that is internal linking. This would help both users and AI bots understand how your content is connected. What do you do here? Use natural descriptive anchor text. Avoid click here. Use see our roof leak repair tips instead. Okay, link from blog posts to your core service pages, FAQs, and location pages. Create topic clusters where all related content links to a central pillar page. Review and update older content with internal links to newer, more helpful pages. Think of internal links as roads to tell Google this is the hub. This is what I specialize in. Number five, add unique author bios and timestamps to show freshness and authority. AI evaluates not just what is written, but who wrote it. That's why adding author bios and timestamps is no longer optional. Include a short author bio at the end of each post with relevant credentials or experience. Then also use schema markup for authorship so Google knows who wrote the piece. All right. Add published dates and last updated timestamp to all articles. Now, AI mode has raised the bar. It's not just looking for good content, it's looking for content that's trusted, structured, reviewed, connected, and clearly authored. That means you need to optimize every angle of your site and business presence like Google is watching, because it is. And when you do, you won't just rank, you'll get quoted, featured, summarized, and trusted. Now let's move on to the next lesson, which is lesson 4, where you multiply your real estate on Google and everywhere else. Now let's make something very clear. Relying on one page or one keyword to carry your entire online visibility is not just risky, it's outdated. In this new AI-driven search era, visibility is fragmented. I mean, your presence has to stretch across multiple surfaces, multiple formats, and multiple entry points, right? The lesson is about turning your business into a digital landmark. So no matter where someone searches, there's a piece of you showing up. So let's start with Google Business Profile. Now, this is your storefront online, and it's not just about having it, it's about fully optimizing it. That means adding high quality recent photos inside and outside of your business, your team, your work, those types of photos, completing every section, meaning your business hours, services, product, FAQs, the description in itself, using keywords naturally in your service descriptions, having to actively respond to reviews and post updates weekly. Now, Google pulls heavily from GBP, AI summaries, map listings, and local maps. If you don't own this space, you're invisible to your own neighborhood. All right. Number two, local service ads. If you are available in your industry and region, use them. I mean, these show up above even the map pack. They work on a pay per lead basis and require a background check. But once you're in, you earn a Google guaranteed badge. That badge boosts trust and CTL. Number three, featured snippets. Now, these are the position 0 answers that Google pulls into the box at the top of the results. In AI mode, they often become the summary or are blended into the summary. To optimize for this, you want to use question-based headers. For example, how do I fix a leaky faucet? Follow with a direct 2 to 3 sentence answer. Break down step by step in bullets on numbered list. Use schema markup to support structure. All right. Number 4, the Google Maps listing. Being on maps is great, but being the most reviewed, most clicked, and most visible business on that map is the goal. Boost your map real estate by embedding driving directions from multiple areas, getting consistent reviews with specific keywords, geotagging your images before uploading. All right, listing your business in local directories that tie into the Maps ecosystem. And number 5 is Google Post. Google Post allows you to share offers, updates, events, and tips directly to your GBP. All right, now these posts are indexed and sometimes pulled into the AI overview or the knowledge panel. Make it work. Use short, punchy headlines, include a strong image, add a CTA, which is like book now, learn more, call today. All right, post consistently, say 1 to 2 times per week. All right, number 6 is web stories. Think of these like Instagram stories, but for Google. All right, web stories are tappable, mobile-friendly content pieces that show up in search and discover feeds. So you want to use them to tell visual stories about your service or process. All right, highlight testimonials or before and after results. Share how-to guides in bite-sized slides. Number 7 is video content. YouTube is a Google property, and Google is pulling video clips into search more than ever. If you're not using video, you're missing an entire content here. All right, so you can start with short explainers answering one core question per video, and then of course local relevance. For example, best time to aerate your lawn in California. Okay, use optimized titles, descriptions and tags, embedding videos in blog posts and service pages. Now, when you multiply your content across these touch points, you're not just showing up once, you're showing up everywhere. And in the eyes of AI mode, that consistency and breadth signals authority. So don't just build a website, build an ecosystem and make sure that that ecosystem echoes who you are, what you solve, and why you're the best choice. So let's get into lesson 5, where we talk about branding. Branding is no longer optional. I'm not talking about just the logos and color palettes, though yes, that matters too. I'm talking about recognizability, a clear, consistent, memorable identity that follows your content across every channel and makes your business look like a trusted authority, not just another random site trying to rank. So Google is biased towards entities that have a track record, that show up consistently, that look and sound the same across every platform. Why? Because in an AI-driven world, consistency equals trust. So if Google sees your business name pop up in local citations, social platforms, Google Business Profile, YouTube, your website, and even third-party blogs, all using the same tone, topics, expertise and branding, it recognizes you as a real player, not just a one-post wonder. So if your brand is invisible or inconsistent, even great content can get overlooked. So Google is trying to surface answers that it can trust. That trust is earned through your digital footprint. So how do you achieve this? Number 1, turn your site into a known entity. This means your brand cannot just exist on your website. It needs to stretch across, consistent voice and tone. Write like a human and write the same way everywhere. If your GBP posts sound corporate, your website sounds casual, and your social media is all over the place, you're not building recognizability. You're just confusing both humans and AI. All right. Now, your visual design, keep your design tight. Make your headers, fonts, logos, color palette, because these help your site feel like a unified, intentional brand, not a patchwork blog. The social proof, Google pays attention to what others say about you. That means testimonials, video reviews, case studies, and user generated content all feed the AI machine. It says, oh, other people trust this source, so maybe we should too. And number two, say the same thing everywhere. And here's a mistake most businesses make. They diversify their message so much that they weaken their core signal. Don't do that. All right. Instead, double down on your core expertise. Say it everywhere consistently. If your business does roof repair in Tampa, your online presence should reflect that. Your homepage headline should say it. Your Google business profile description should say it, right? Your citations on directories like Yelp, House, Thumbstack should all list that exact service plus location. I mean, your blog post should include step-by-step breakdowns of roof repair problems and solutions specific to Tampa's weather. All right. And when you do this well, you give Google and your human audience zero doubt about what you do, where you do it, and who you serve. Right. Number three is integrate your messaging across platforms. So let's say you've got a few content types already, which is great, but are they all working together? Are your GPP posts linking to relevant blog posts? Are your YouTube descriptions linking to your local landing pages? Do your blog post embed video testimonials or include screenshots of 5-star reviews? All of these matter because it creates a unified signal, a clear brand narrative that doesn't just live in one silo. It makes you recognizable across multiple touch points and tells Google that this is not just content, this is a brand. And remember, brands get favored, brands get cited, brands get picked up in summaries, brands get saved in memory. I mean, you've probably spent years trying to rank by chasing keywords, writing optimized headlines, and tweaking metadata. But now the real win is not a page one position. It's becoming so recognizable, consistent, and helpful that Google does not hesitate to feature you anywhere that matters. So go back and look at your current online presence. Is it clear what you do? Is it clear where you do it? Is it clear who you help? If not, that's your first fix. From there, everything else becomes easier. So let's get into lesson 6, which is closing the loop. You've probably made it through the technical shift, the mindset pivots, and the content strategy rewires. Now it's time to seal the deal, to put all the pieces together in a way that actually keeps you visible, trusted, and ahead. Now this lesson is your strategy wrap up, but don't think of it as the end. Think of it as your new baseline, because this new SEO reality does not favor people who dip in and out. It favors people who commit, who show up consistently, and who build equity over time. So what you need to do is create with clarity. People don't come to Google or AI summaries because they want poetry. They come because they want peace of mind. So your number one goal in any piece of content, service page, or snippet is clarity. What does your reader want to know? What's the cleanest, most direct way to answer it? And your headline, subhead, and first paragraph deliver the punchline. That means formatting your thoughts cleanly using headers and lists. All right, it means avoiding jargons unless it's explained. All right, it means writing like you're answering a friend who is stressed out and searching at midnight. All right, so let's quickly talk about if SEO is still worth it. Now, right now, you might be asking yourself, is SEO still worth it? I mean, well, the answer is yes, but not the kind of SEO we used to rely on. All right, so let's talk about the biggest headaches that we're now facing right now, the blind spots. You see that invisible corner of the room where Google AI mode is operating, but we cannot quite measure what it's actually doing. This is not just a nuisance, it's a major strategic challenge. I mean, in traditional SEO, we're used to seeing what is working. We track keyword rankings, page views, click-through rates, all right, bounce rates, time on page, you name it. All right, tools like Google Analytics, Google Search Console gives us dashboards that translate activity into insight. We make decisions based on numbers, but AI mode does not play by the old rules. Now, when a user searches for something and gets an AI generated summary, that person might get their answer without ever clicking a link. And if they do get the answer from your content, you might not even know. So there is no metric today in GSC or analytics that tells you that your paragraph was used in an AI overview. Maybe it will come in the future, but right now it's not. So this basically leaves you with two problems. One, no visibility into AI driven impressions. You don't know how often your content appears inside AI overviews. Number two, no click attribution. If users click through from AI mode, it doesn't get labeled distinctly. All right, it blends in with general Google search traffic. So how are you supposed to measure performance, adjust your strategy, report ROI to a client or stakeholder? If we cannot track it, we can improve it. And if we cannot attribute visibility or traffic to AI mode, we might incorrectly assume a blog post is underperforming when in reality it's actually doing great inside AI answers. Or worse, we might double down on content that's getting clicked but not trust, authority, or mentions in AI mode at all. Now, this is where a big mindset shift will have to come in. I mean, you cannot just think in terms of ranking pages anymore. You now need to think in terms of contributing answers. Every piece of content you write must be extractable, it must be clear, it must be structured, it must be useful enough for Google to pull into the AI generated summary. You have to start optimizing based on assumed presence, not just visible metrics, right? I mean, many optimizers have said it feels like we're optimizing in the dark. Others argue that this is the return of brand first content. Now, if Google can't credit you with a click, it can still elevate your brand if your name, business, or domain is cited in AI mode summaries. In other words, you might lose some visibility but gain authority. This is why many are shifting away from pure traffic goals but looking instead at brand mentions, all right, direct traffic, increased time on site, repeat visits, conversion quality. And that's how you know your visibility in AI mode is doing something meaningful. Now, the days of stuffing keywords into your paragraph have long gone. The days of publishing thin 500-word blog posts just to tick a box, buying backlinks from shady sites, or spinning content and hoping it ranks. I mean, these days were way over even before now. Not just because they don't work, but because, I mean, they can actively harm your visibility, especially right now. Now, Google's systems have become way too sophisticated to fall for those shortcuts. And more importantly, your audience has too. But here's the good news. SEO, or now should we say answer engine optimization, when done right, is more powerful than ever, not just for rankings, but for building visibility, earning trust, attracting leads, and growing a brand that lasts. Now, the only catch here is you have to know how to play the new game. In this new game, it's still centered on content, but not just any content. Content that is clear, content that's useful, content that proves that you're worth listening to. And let's get this straight. Every major platform still relies on content. I mean, Google, YouTube, TikTok, even ChatGPT, they all surface results based on content that clearly, quickly, and confidently answers real questions. You may have heard people throw around dramatic statements like search is changing, SEO is dead. But what they really mean is that the lazy version of SEO they once knew does not work anymore. For years, SEO looks like this: pick a keyword, write a blog post, hit publish, wait for traffic. Simple. But now, that's just the starting point. The version of SEO that works right now with the new Google mode update demands more depth, more trust, and more relevance. So here's what actually matters right now: topical authority. Now, instead of writing a one-off post on a subject, you need to become the go-to source for that topic. That means building clusters of content that covers every single angle your audience is searching for. Number two, local trust signals. For service-based and local businesses, your Google business profile, the directory listing, and online reviews send critical trust signals. All right. Ignoring this is like playing the game without your full team on the field. Number three, structured AI-friendly content. So Google's new AI mode and summary features favor content that's well structured with clear headers, schema markups, FAQs, and quick answers. Now, if your content is chaotic or unclear, it's invisible. All right. Also, we talk about recognizable brand presence. People trust people, right? And Google does too. Your name, your voice, your authority, they all matter more now than ever. You need to show up across platforms, be consistent, and be seen as the expert in your niche. So yes, SEO works, but only when your strategy prioritizes clarity, usefulness, and trust. This is no longer about gaming the system. It's about showing up as someone worth listening to. All right. So let's talk about, old content. Do I delete my old content or update it? Now, this is hands down one of the most common questions right now. With all these changes, should I just scrap my old content and start fresh? Short answer, no. Don't waste your content equity. All right. Refine it. There's a smarter way to handle your existing content. How do you do that? Number one, if it's outdated but still relevant, give it a facelift, add updated examples, improve formatting, restructure it for clarity, and remove fluff. If it is ranking but not converting, add trust signals. Think author bios, expert quotes, visuals, FAQs, updated CTAs that match today's user intent. If there's no traffic or it's low quality, off topic, consolidate it into something better. Don't let zombie pages drag your domain down. Merge them with stronger assets. Google does value older content, but only if it has been updated to meet today's standard of clarity, relevance, and trust. So treat your old posts like real estate. Don't demolish them, renovate them. Make them work harder for you. Now, if you ask me, I would say SEO is not dead, definitely, it's evolving. And for those who are ready to evolve with this, the opportunity has never been better. We're entering a phase where clarity beats complexity, where authority beats visibility, and where usefulness beats noise. And if you're willing to shift gears, lean into what works now, and let go of the shortcut that used to work, you'll build a presence that does not just show up once in search, but keeps showing up consistently everywhere. If you want a company or someone to basically help you through all of this, because it's very just too much for you to take in, I'm going to be leaving a link in the description below where you can basically fill in a form and we'll see if you're a good fit for us. All right, you're welcome to do all of this by yourself, but again, we can do the heavy lifting for you. Just click the link in the description and book a call today, or just fill the form, and we're going to be reaching out back to you. This could mean everything for your business. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I remain Aneta Elisha Oladejo. Bye for now.